You hear the screeching of an owl, you hear the wind begin to howl. You know there's zombies on the prowl. And it's terror time again. They've got you running through the night. It's terror time again. And you just might die of fright. It's a terrifying time.
Are you looking for a bunch of map and world mods to spice up your runs? Or you just want to leave your mark, quite literally, on the world? Well, in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a host of mods that do these things and more. But before we begin, I'd like to thank Foxfire for her lovely artwork. I'd like to ask you to support the content with a like if you enjoy, and sub for more content like this. Now let's get started with a snack zone, shall we? Are you looking for a nice, centrally located base outside of West Point, but still within travel distance of it and surrounding neighborhoods, or even Muldrow? Then consider the Spiffo Shelter mod by Wonky. Located at the central crossroads south of West Point, I mean location-wise alone, this place is very nice. There's a used car lot to the south for your looting and scrapping needs, and to the west you've got a gas station and a bargain clothes outlet, which gives some nice resources for you to work with here. Now moving on to the base itself. The Spiffo in the region has been converted in its entirety to a small fortress, with the front and back doors barricaded off and a side garage door installed for both car and player usage. And there's also another method to enter if you use the ladders mod, as you can use the ladder on the east side to scale up to the top of the base and enter via the rooftop garden. Which, let's start there. The base has a rooftop garden which also has rain barrels up there. Heading down the staircase takes you into the main dining room and the barricaded off back door. Heading towards the bathrooms, one has been converted into a full bathroom and shower, the other has been converted into a medical center. The main interior of the restaurant has been converted into storage with a good pile of hardware and weaponry, and there's also a dumpster in the main room, which is actually very useful as you can use the dumpster to delete corpses out of existence that annoy you, instead of burning or burying all of them. On the north side of the building is the mentioned garage, and on the east side, the former kitchen has been turned into a kitchen/living room, and the former storage room that held all the freezers has become a bedroom for you to safely crash in. Once this region is entirely cleaned out, it's also pretty safe. Just watch out for the stragglers that may have been bogged down and hidden in the woodline. While this place can be a tad bit overpowered, you also have to travel out of West Point along the highway or taking the long winding back roads, so it's not the easiest of bases to reach. Plus it's not insane like some other player bases get with mods. Like, some people just make things insanely overpowered. If you've been around my channel for a while, you may remember a lighthouse base I covered in one of my early mod videos. This mod by Zucconi is the Lighthouse V2 mod, a larger, more expanded version where it was previously just a small house, a shed, and the lighthouse itself. Now the lighthouse is on an island of its own, connected to a second floor bridge to the new warehouse that replaces a small home and shed. Now let's start with the warehouse. On the ground floor you've got the warehouse itself, as well as some hardware, a second storage room, and on the west side of the building you'll find a fishing dock. Now there is some door issues, but I'll talk more about those later. Now we head up the stairs. We've got a laundry room, a full bath, a living room, a kitchen, and the first bedroom. If you climb the stairs higher, you'll find a rooftop garden and a small shed with a generator in it. Now head back to the second floor and you can access the lighthouse across the bridge. The first two floors of the lighthouse are more various storage, and then every other floor but the top is bedrooms with the bathrooms. The very top floor is a relaxation and lookout room with more water barrels up top. But herein lies another problem. The doors on the top floor are locked even from the inside, as well as the shutter doors on the first floor of the garage. To even open them, you'll have to either spawn keys for the buildings or lure zombies all the way from West Point into this building and hope they drop a key, or permanently destroy the doors and replace them. Luckily, the normal doors on the ground floors work from the inside without a key, but it is an issue for the other doors. Overall, this is a cozy little base tucked to the north of West Point. It's always a charming little hideaway, and I do like the bigger lighthouse, but I do prefer the V1 version of the mod because I felt it was more better balanced. I liked it being smaller and just a little hideaway, not the big sprawling warehouse with almost literally everything you need to just live here unabated. Are you tired of only being able to paint a handful of rinky-dink signs with a can of paint? Do you wish you could leave your mark on the world and either remember things for yourself or warn others? Well, let me introduce Tread's Paint Symbols mod by Treelac. This mod lets you, using a can of paint and a paintbrush, you can paint symbols and letters on the walls and signs. Just pick your favorite color or whatever you deem to be relevant, like say a red skull to warn of danger in this area, or maybe mark off the area as rated, whatever symbol you'd like to use to mark it. Overall, it's a very simple but very useful little mod that I think could be perfect for servers. Are you looking for a pre-built, ready-to-go base and valley station, or you just want a spawn point in the region? Well, thanks to Nev, we got the Comfy Cafe Sanctuary mod. Now keep in mind, this base is a tad bit OP, as it's intended for use on their server as an admin base, basically. But if you don't mind getting a bunch of loot early and easy, or say using this as an ultimate destination sort of thing, this is not too bad. This place is a compound of 4 buildings, with it mostly being surrounded by high walls and a lake to the east. There's a bar and a cafe for when you first enter, which has a decent pile of snacks, booze, and smokes, which could definitely be a nice grab. The next building's the medical center, and this place is packed full of medical supplies, as well as medical beds, which can also be used for your team's beds. The building directly across from it is a large warehouse and grocery store, and the warehouse is predictably chock full of hardware, as well as random garage loot, so stuff like home goods, chairs, furniture, and the like. The little grocery store convenience store mostly has some small fridges that can spawn minor food loot and water. There's also a gas pump here, so if you can get a generator here and use it, you've got a large source of fuel just ready to go for the late game. The final set of buildings, just a long strip of empty storage units which can be used as you see fit. Park your cars, build them into a bedroom, use them as storage. There's lots of possibility. Personally, I'd take the beds out of the medical center, move them to the storage unit if I'm basing here, and turn these into individual bedrooms, after I build doors on the front of the rooms. Overall, it's not an overly flashy base, but still, it's located in a nice place and you can definitely secure a lot of loot. Are you a fan of Fallout 4? Do you wish you could see more of the Fallout 4 Sanctuary Hills region before it was blown straight to nuclear hell? Well, thanks to Miss 6, we got a close approximation of it within Project Zomboid. This area is actually pretty complete considering it's mostly using default tiles. There's the red rocket at the entrance, the bridge you'd use to cross into the town, all the houses around the neighborhood, and even where the start of the vault would be. Now obviously there are some visual differences given some of the limitations of the engine, such as the fact there's definitely not a default tree that's nearly the size of the big ass tree that grows in the center of the cul-de-sac. But that's all good. Overall, this place looks pretty cool and it's nicely tucked away. To get here, you're going to have to go to the northern part of Louisville, following the riverbank along a dirt trail on your map until you get to the path that leads towards the Red Rock and Sanctuary. My only real complaint is the fact the region isn't added to the mini-map yet. But overall, I like it. It's a cool recreation of Sanctuary Hills, and it's a nice remote base that's still within easy walking or driving distance to a lot of Louisville. Overall, we've covered a nice variety of mods today, ranging from tributes to other games, to nice quality additions to enhance your world, to various new bases that range from nice little hideaways to the OP please nerf status. My personal favorite of today's list though has to be the Spiffo shelter. It felt like a nice blend of fair challenge to get to and take over, as well as not so densely packed with loot that's just like, here you go, have every single item you could ever need. You're still gonna have to get out there and loot for a lot of the supplies to make it work. Especially given how far it is from the town, you're gonna have a long drive or an even longer walk ahead of you. And given that walks down a highway, good luck. Overall though, I think this is a good pile of mods for today's video. Once again, I'd like to thank today's artists. I'd like to thank all of y'all for the support. especially the members and patrons seen on the screen. Y'all's support helps keep this content flowing. If you'd like to see your name up on the screen, then consider supporting, as well as getting a vote in our weekly supporter streams every Sunday. This has been Core, and I'll see you next time.